Oh no, it's going to start with an empty map. Good evening, folks. Oh, I should say good morning, but it's got one more minute for that. Good night, folks. It's 23:59 on the seventh month, eighth day, which is going to be the ninth day here in a minute. 2025. So I'm going to do that twice. And what we're looking at here is what is a graph known as the wind accumulation graph. And over the wind accumulation over the next week is rather high, especially for a country known as New Zealand. It was a lot higher earlier. Some of these accumulation of winds, which is a graph that represents that over the next week, what's the highest gusts expected to be seen. And right over here showing 93 kilometers an hour gusts to be expected over the next week. For the Nelson area is looking at in the 80s, almost 90-kilometer an hour gusts over the next week. It's actually sooner. Yeah, because I'm going to give you your forecast of what's coming. You got two batches, and I got to verify them live. Okay, so that's another thing that takes a moment. Yes, I do see the live symbol. And I'll open it on my phone so I can see comments and maybe answer questions live if I get the opportunity. I got to verify them live. Yep, and I verified my volume. Great, fantastic. So I'm going to go over this now. Some of the winds that I'm seeing, even through this area towards the coastline, between the Gong and Bateman's Bay, following the line of the mountains, is very, very, very high gusts. So you don't want to watch your travels through there. You got a high side at anything, don't do it. Just don't. Right? And I'll go over that as well. I'm expecting some snows as well for this area too here. But it's these gusts, our conditions are what to me causes the most harm. And the gusts out here are going to whip up a lot of dust. You see, this the conditions out here. Have you been warned? And this is over through. Let's see if we can bring it up to exactly Monday morning, midnight ish. So this will be in through Monday morning. Very, very big events coming. So this wind here actually is imminent. So we're going to go over the forecast part, right? When you get gusts out at sea like this, you're going to have big surf and a lot of coastal erosion, problems with tides going back out to sea. That was just me moving the mic. So let's just do this part here. New Zealand, you're going first because I did Addy in Melbourne this morning. ECMW is fair accurate, but their totals are too low. It's very accurate with the motion of what I'm seeing as far as what's on set view. So I'm going to let this run a minute and say hi to everybody. Hi, everyone. I can call everybody by name or I could just say, hi, everyone. Hi there. I can give you a Joey. I'm not going to look at Addy right now. I'm going to look. We're concentrating on New Zealand right now. If I zoom in anymore, there'll be. I could do like this. But you'll want to see these dynamics that are common, and then I'll show you it as a big picture. I got some time tonight. Seems like the whole house is up, so I can now say good morning, folks. It's the ninth day of the seventh month, 2025, and good morning. It's 003. You say, yeah, the time shouldn't even be 003. It should just say, what time is it? 3 minutes. I mean, really, you don't say, it's $0.001. Okay, this is where my concern comes. That first bath was just get the ground really wet so that what comes now will run. This is the flash floodder. This will be electric. If you don't see some thunder snow down there, I'll be surprised. Yeah, it's that kind of storm. And the winds are going to be very high, but not like it was a couple weeks ago. I must stress this. Not the actual winds. It's the gusts that's the problem. See, you was getting sustained winds a couple weeks ago. It was in the 60s, 70s, and you were getting incredible gusts. So you're not getting the same, right? But you're getting water. The water is going to be the biggest issue coming in through Friday and Saturday. So I'll go over that part now for you guys over there in Kiwi land, the land of the long ass Kembarm. I've actually been to that valley. It gives its own rainbows off. It's beautiful. I've been to Arthur's Pass. I passed gas in Arthur's Pass, stopped in Rivendell. Everybody stops in Rivendell to get ripped off at the gas station. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Isn't it beautiful how... But that's how the hills are so steep there. When they get rain, it really runs dramatically, the flash floods. And the streams fill up very, very fast. And this is going to be some very, very heavy rains impacting the Nelson, Takaka, New Plymouth area coming over. This will be right about dinner time on Friday, the 11th. Through the afternoon hours. You're really going to have a Coppington day of it that day. See, the starting of the initial heaviness is probably about... And this is a little bit off. That's why my time's not matching theirs. First I have to see what time is that there. Right there, that's like your Friday morning. Very heavy through the afternoon. So get your shit done today. But if you're today is not going to be the most pleasant. You ain't got much time left for some showers. That's why I say make use of this gap. You're going to have a gap. It's going to come between on Thursday. Use it well. And take stock of your situation as well. Local information is going to be important. It says live signal gone. I don't know what's going on with that. No, it's back. Because I got one that's got the Wi-Fi off and it's just using data. Yeah, I'm not happy with this, folks, this storm. But I told you guys about a week ago. But it's nothing like what you had before. But the rain totals are going to get rather high as we go through. And when this thing comes, which this one's cloud types, I'm going to go over windy and show you what each one of these layers does. So it's going to answer a lot of questions at once. And I don't have a video to answer your questions with, so I don't have to type. I'm having a hard time with my hands and my arms. Something's up with me and I don't quite know what it is. Well, when we get older, we have issues. And I don't trust doctors. If their degree just trusts a magazine article, I have nothing more to say to them. Their lives cost me my family. I don't forgive that. It took all their validity away. And that's what I told them. Why didn't I go to the doc for my hand? Because you lost your validity. And gave them a bollocking for it. Yep. That's called atonement. I get to see the look on your face when I tell you the results of your recommendations and advice is not often suiting my life anymore. Right, the rotation of this storm is pulling a lot of tropical air down to meet the cold Antarctic air that is cycling from here, right? Because this is rotating like this. So whatever air was here coming across comes up and in. So it's all these, they've got a lot of dynamics of chem to look at. Like all this chem over here is going to affect this storm, right? You have to watch this too. And this is about to do what I call the cut move. You see how that square's gone real long? It's going to turn into two vortexes. This one's going to get cut with EMF and it's going to get slung inland. But that beam hasn't happened yet. I just went and looked a minute ago and shut the screen off. Yeah, that part when I was on my other live saying, doing some basic explanations and sarcasticnesses. Look at this big plume of crap coming over Queenstown. That's going to precede a line of rain you're about to get. Now, eyes, you see this tongue here? That's desert air made into a plasma. And it's caused a very defining line of where the heaviest snows and stuff's going to go. You see this? I'm going to turn off the names here. You see this area that's fried here? These clouds that never go away and move with the wind. Those are microwave interference pattern evidence of being microwaved. And it seems to be on this side of the mountains. So that's going to pin the cold air that was worked up here by that Sedona radar yesterday, which now it's the ones over here like Menwith Hill and this over here. Not Menwith Hill, I mean Sellex Hill. Menwith Hill's in England, big fry station. So now the direction of flow is through here. See this tongue here? And this is coming up, and this is going to make the area around Canberra and that very messy. I don't know about the snow accumulation. There's definitely wintry mix. But it looks like snow is more than passable for even the capital itself. Should make for some real pretty pictures down by the river, you know. Hear that nice trumpet blowing in the morning. Hear that last posted night. Yeah, that's why I cover your weather so bad over there. It's important that they get their forecasts because they need to know to bring their boots inside at night. I'd rather have a smelly tent than wet boots. You see this shockwave here, VMF? That's a pin line of flow. You see this like vapor down here on the low deck? You can almost see it. That's a plasma haze. That's a guiding line, again, to hook this into this stream here, where when it interacts, it'll spin. Boy, is it going to cause a low to form over here. That's moving very fast. And when these finally meet, wherever they do, it's going to spin. And it looks like right about here. It seems where I'm seeing the dividing line of a low that's going to be made to happen. The dip down, if I was to read the plasma, I say the low will form exactly here. You see that line? I wonder if I can squiggles this for you. It'll be easy to see. You got to read the plasma. Plasma that's formed in chemtrails. Where the squiggles went somewhere. Come here, you rascal. Fell on the ground. Right. Yeah, it'd be fun if you guys could see the look on my face sometimes when I make my little mock-ups. You see this dip here in the plasma? It's gone like this. You get 3 beams. Like this. And you have a radar here. It's pulsing out to sea. When it meets a flow that's coming like real fast in that direction, and you meet stuff from here, it has to spin. It just does, like the bowling ball on an end of a ramp, bringing it back to you. There's a brief moment where that ball just sits and spins. It's the same principle. Yeah. And there's the microwave lines here. You can see them pretty well. See right here, the defined line of the microwaves. So I know that the flow's been diverted there. So it like takes that mountain range and makes it taller with a path of resistance. And some, of course, makes it up and over. But most of it starts to back the chem up with the condensates that collide and get bigger, and they tend to fall better. And this is pretty much the line. Everything on this side cops it. You know, this is the Coppington zone. Just by reading the clouds, you can see that plain as day. I do like having a touchscreen. It's making my life easier. But you can see the nucleation here again of the plasma. Here to here in a curve shape. And you see another one. This is actually a great example of flow manipulation with microwaves. Where if they can hide it and tell you something's a glitch, right? But I clearly see the curve. I also clearly see the scalar image right here as a beam. As a beam. Is there a radar station where X just marked this spot? Because the clouds are saying there's something is converging on that point. Angulation, because it wasn't a triangulation. I'm not trying to do all the angle math. I'm just trying to say, hey, look, there's a point here where things are intersecting. You have a vessel right there in the sky. Something's there. And I have to see these things or I can't get accurate. And there's a lot of dynamics, New Zealand, of the weather. They've released the flow through Cook Strait now to feed the top of this, right? So they can do that cut move and sling inland. Then slam that door shut with EMF again when it's time to snow. So this is shut just to make sure this flows to you. And it's dual vortexing now. This will get sent south and this will clobber you. See the dynamics of this? This pulls down the tendril. Yeah, my Skywatch friend, that's a tendril puller. This is a whole nother dynamic in this line here. Right? This is what makes geoengineering so complicated to forecast, but it's easy to spot. You got a lot to talk out with yourself before you go spouting to everybody else what you think the weather is. Or I imagine a whole lot of forecasts are about to update from the paid people. Yeah, when I'm done with this. These are just carpet bombed the sea with catalysts for the microwaves. And this island here is absolutely frying. It's pinning everything north. I could give you plasma checks on it, but I'd like you to start doing some of this yourself. And then show me what you got. That saved me a lot of times. You see the angle on this? You can't tell me something ain't come out that way and that way from a fixed point here. You can't tell me because I see the plasma signals. Bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. It's a curve of it. And this went over that, not under it. And now it's important to know, because if that went under that, you get terrible storms suddenly. Very suddenly. So they did not want terrible storms for here. They could have. There was a moment there I wasn't sure what they were going to do. This plasma line says it all for your mountains. See it? That move? It looks like a big bowel movement. Yeah, it does, man. It looks turdy. Yeah, the dirty, turdy air. What a shame, what a shame. So let's continue. Okay, New Zealand. Right now we're sitting at Saturday. We're looking at about 2 or 3 in the morning. And that's when the Hello Bay of Plenty. You're getting a big batch of rain's going to just come through, and it's going to come through fair quick. And within about 8 hours, 9 hours, it's not going to park. But the low ain't done with you yet. No. It's going to have to bring another batch across. Because, like I said, it's just stalled out. Bam. It's just a cycle of just one after the other. Welcome to winter, man. Welcome to winter. Okay, so let's show you some of the accumulations to be expected. And let's see if they're going to get honest. You do expect honesty from Windy today. Guys, even on a paid premium app, it's very sad not to see. Yeah, these totals ain't nice to see. Yeah, that's about right. It's 20. I was calling for 17 here. They're saying when I'm sticking my guns. I'm talking centimeters, not inches. You guys have big batches coming. And this is the double shot. Over this first batch, I'm not expecting a huge amount. I'm really not. But this second batch is going to clobber you. And I'm wondering if it's too low to totals. I'll only know when I see what the ships at sea start to do. So, as you're getting into your Saturday and stuff, man, it's going to get bad. So I'm very happy the first batch isn't something super duper. The worst case scenario is what I'm telling you. But my worst case scenario is probable. You want worst case? What Wendy's telling you? That over the next week you're going to get close to 1/3 of a meter of rain. This is your worst case scenario. That's the adding up of the 2 batches like I told you last week. And I'm starting to see the stick being told. And there's your 17. There it is. See it? Not looking good, folks. Not looking good. That's that second batch that's coming to Hawks. I mean, to the Bay of Plenty. Not Hawks, my very, very big mistake, that one. I don't want to wind anybody up over there. I don't want to wind anybody up over anywhere. Okay, guys, it's your turn. Oh, did I do the snows? I did the winds. I did the gusts. Let's start with snow. That's so I don't forget that part. Do I need to make jingle bell noises? Caesar's greetings. A foot and a half of snow in the next few days. Where is that one there? The heavy top line, and then south of there, what do we get here? A Concoban. Hey, your sky's a big shit stay. Oh, that's not Kurt Cobain. We got the Perisher Village. It's going to be perishing cold. Even right now, it's -1. It's a cold night, huh? Might nipply. Yeah, I see some fair totals, and over the on the on the week totals it is even higher, getting close to 3 feet of snow. Right, Canberra's over there. They're not showing what they was showing the other day, but I'm sticking my guns on the wintry mix because they'll show it when it's coming through on the rain and thunder. I think they don't want people to be prepared. I think they milk our suffering, somehow get their jollies off it, because they like to show all our suffering in the news far too often, not enough of our happiness. I think they just want us to be sad. So, I have a point. You don't even get a story about a cute kitten being rescued from a tree no more. All they are is smiling while they're cutting them down. Look at this beautiful sunset. The sky's all full of toxic gases and crap falling out. Used to get up in the morning, breathe your first breath of air and go, ah. Now you breathe this full of acid, you go, ow. I never used to cough like this. Lights a cigarette. I mean, at least that's the tars and stuff are encapsulating some of the chem, and I'm calling it out. See, they're showing wintry mix around there now. Well, you told me you get nothing. They told these people on the graph they get nothing. So if you're only watching just the snow graph, you might not catch it. Dun 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 dun. I do like that one. That's festive. It's non-denominational. You just see the sleigh, right? Hopefully you don't have an open flame and the horse passes gas. Like the Bud Light commercial that got banned. Took off the internet during the Super Bowl. It was a scorcher. It's just like days of this weather for you guys up there. Boy, is it not nice to have to go through. It's going to add up to just the kind of few days before the weekend you don't want to be having. And there's around this time there should be something coming toward Perth. See how much I got to keep in mind? I already showed you New Zealand. Yeah, I already knew to zip back over here. Because they move in these storms so regular. When I zoom back and I look at the pressures all around the whole world, only ECMW is going to show you. This high pressure lock, the evenness of these highs and these gaps are very similar. So I can use time into my head to say, well, because they got the high over Africa pulsing down into here over at the Horn, these are going to just keep coming quite regular all around the pole. Yep, that's a very high pressure feeding that direction, high towards low. And even that high there is lower than that by 11 ticks on this particular Mercury reading. I like Mercury. I could do it in bar. I'll really throw Higgins off. How the hell is that? He says a pressure of 1. How am I wrong at that? He doesn't understand. Yeah, I can teach you all that kind of stuff, but that takes a long time. But if you don't know what natural weather is or how to use even a fucking thermometer or a barometer, what good are you to yourself to be able to tell natural things? And even having a barometer on the wall helps. They don't lie suddenly. And suddenly your atmospheric pressure down by the ocean is different than atmospheric pressure used to be 100 years ago. Then the weight of the atmosphere has increased through the density of the chem. Prove me wrong. Oof, I don't like that. I think that's wrong. I think it's going to be tighter than that. Because that's not far enough away. The beam line's going to be closer. I'm not agreeing with this over there for that. That's why I don't want to go too far. All right. Let's show Addie and then what's coming through today. This is going to be that smack I was talking about. And wind is going to be a factor. Yep, damn it. I don't give a shit about some stuff sometimes like commercials. Ever. Here we come, the nightmare on every street. Got another geostorm, every 100-year storm each week, dude. Yeah, how many 100-year storms has your area had? Have you had a once in a 1,000-year storm yet? You've had so many once in a 100 years, once in 1,000 years storm. In the last 10 years, your town should be about 20,000 years old by now, according to statistics. Yeah, this is bad. You see when that dip up of the pressure trying to equalize with the tropic because these two are fighting to equalize? It's just a density float thing. That's going to squeeze a lot of water into this area. It's going to make it very, very volatile. And I've already seen the radar setup from Gimpy, from the fry line they've done. And I did say that flow line, they're setting something up and it's perfect for volatility. So I am expecting some weather of not so pleasant to be camping in nature, so to speak, wetnesses. But I'm not expecting no floods. That's why I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about any of this. It's just weather. It's just winter. Here it is. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. I don't like it up 'em, that's for sure. 1, 2, 3, bang, 2, 3. Remember that episode? Not regretfully forbidden to think about that as an analogy, is it? It's a Jonesy metaphor. I don't like it up 'em. But the sad part is, Jonesy, they really do like it up 'em. Fucking hell. I gotta laugh because this stuff is very saddening. And when I show you the cam, which I'm gonna do, it's very saddening. That's what you're gonna get. Now you just get fuckery after fuckery after fuckery. Open up the Bass Strait, close Bass Strait, which means fry it, unfry it, fry it, lift the basket, serve the fries, put the basket back down, kind of thing. Blocked away. And we know the flow he's at now. And that heads toward New Zealand. And it's going to lead to, your wind is the big one. And I'll go over a bit of that now. Right. Addie, if you ain't brought your furniture in outside, do it now. Bring your pets in, tend them. Don't leave them out in the doghouse or anything like that. Come on. Yes, even the homeless people need a good warning about this. I don't want them losing their tents and whatever little bit they got left. Yeah, tie it down or stay in the car tonight. It may be just not huge winds there, but along the shorelines here where people do love to camp, it's going to be quite bad. These little islands like out here. And these are just full-on winds. These ain't gusts. It's quite high. And at some point, the tide's going to try to come out of a couple of these creek areas, and there's nowhere for it to go because the wind's going to be blowing it back in. Like over here in Venus Bay, I do see some problems with water hemming up around the intersection here where the B10 comes into this road here. Okay, so these parcels of land here are ripe to be grabbed. Yeah. There's a big harp over there. I haven't seen evidence of it firing in the last few hours or anything, so there's nothing to report on that. The gusts are going to get bad, quite bad actually. See how far inland Broken Hill, all that fucking arsenic and lead dust is about to be whipped in the air and sent towards the east coast. Yeah, these are very, very high gusts. We're talking 80-kilometer-an-hour gusts. You know, that exceeds the speed limits in most people's main streets, for sure. See that offshore? Well, you expect some of them gusts to get you right here on your land. And if you anywhere there's high rises that have been built up on a coastline, acts like a cliff and hems up the wind, and it makes it worse. So some of the panels could be blowing off things. Don't be walking around and getting hit with an object. They call it a missile. Yeah, but that's you getting hit with a missile, you'd be more worried about if you had oil in your yard or something. That's a sad thing to even be able to joke about and say, ooh, you could be right, you have a point. Yeah, the winds, yeah. And watch your tents. We're camping around the capital area. It's something like I said, these gusts, there might be a night you want to sleep in the car. Protect your stuff. It sucks to not have stuff. Oh, you got a loaf of bread or something to eat, man. You don't want to get it soggy. Okay, so there's people out there that need to know about this. Ooh-la-doo-la, the Wollongong. Deadly gusts of wind. You don't want to be on the highway. Don't be out on the Bruce. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It's off limits on Thursday during the day. Just don't do it. Okay, I can't stress this enough. I just can't. Yeah, like I said the other day, it's one of them storms. It's deadly. You don't want emergency workers out there saving your ass getting hit with something flying while they're pulling you out of a car. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Make sure every one of the emergency workers gets home every night by not acting like a numbnut. When sometimes you're told to stay home, you do. Not because it's a climate lockdown, because it's smart, numbnut. Somebody said that too. You're pushing climate lockdown. Bullshit. No, I'm not. If anything, I look at the sky coming down like this, and I don't want to go outside. I don't want to breathe this shit that's going over the top of a beautiful Gimpy pyramid right now. In the Glass House Mountains, which they want to rape further by digging a bigger hole. Haven't our eyeballs seen enough? Look at this cam. Slow it down a little bit. And these are the live images. This is from not too long ago. Hour and a half, 2 hours. It did take a while to load all this. And this is what's mixed is coming to New Zealand. It's falling out. No? It's like the whole glass of fucking Greek coffee is our sky. And if you had the particles in it, doesn't it fall to the bottom? Doesn't a valley get it worse? Or the bottom of the cup? Well, we're all breathing that cup, man. And it's a bitter cup. And that cup is the opposite of overflowing. It's the hole in the cup. Look at you get line going like that, bombs going here, big huge chem dump right there where I'm pointing. Circulation should be around that square. They shouldn't suddenly have something go the opposite direction of flow. You see this thing shoot out from here? Pow, pow. Sounding rockets that deploy as they go along. You ever see a cruise missile type thing that goes pop, 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 and releases payloads of things? Well, they got drones that do this, and now they're talking about geoengineering drones, and I've been talking about it being called crazy. Prove it, Robert, for years. Has it been proven now? You gonna believe me? Sometimes your eyes will tell you what is logical. Or are you being beamed? You have to ask some people that sometime. Looking like a bent paper clip. They're making an anvil. An area of that's the same kind of mix could have a bunch of ices form a wall that they could smack into that wall of ices with and move it. And I'm seeing the anvil being made now. It's almost like making a hammer, and then they move it, move the lever arm, and all of it smacks it. And then you got to bring, inertia and stuff gets involved, basic physics and engineering. Geoengineering requires architecture and requires physics. And so think along those lines, you'll get it. You can see there's a flow line here, Mr. Hanky here. Howdy-ho. Bzzz, the fryer. It just barely shows up. But I think I've done the forecast. And I would invite you to please participate to help these broadcasts continue. Every little 5 pounds adds up. Don't worry about the exchange rate. I got to say something about that. It costs, for my room in Australia, would cost every bit of, even at a cheap rate, $1,400 a month, plus electric and all that. I get this for 1,000 Australian a month. Well, 1,000 is with internet, with water, electricity, and all the noise and barking that you could ever want. But I had a rooster standing outside in the place. Mexico was actually more expensive in the long run. Okay. So you see the waveform here? And this is the last thing I want to point out. This is for a friend of mine's lad who's really sciencey. Here down in New South Wales. This is for you. Here's your sine wave. See this here, just below this? See this? Right? Peak, trough. Peak, trough. The wavelength is coming from here. because this is spreading out. See how that gap changes exponentially between here and here and here, here and here and here? The gap is bigger, and then it'll get bigger out there. That's a pulsation from a very large device. It's located right about here. I'm going to triangulate it now. Right here. That's what that pulse. It's not Alice. Because it came from that direction, because it's the shorter wavelengths telling me that. And it's the last thing I want to show you of going full Albert Einstein on you for tonight. And that's evidence of sine wave usage, of weather manipulation, of microwave, as it's known, EMF perturbation of the atmosphere. Molecular excitation causes condensation because it makes heat. Yep, it's going to get bad. The camera in New Zealand is absolutely full-on whiteout. Look at this. See the stripes? See that bomb right there, there. I thought I was done, but no, I'm not, evidently. And one that says, show them this. So I will. See this off the coast here? That's a whole mess of chem. Of course, there's a boundary for this streamer to ride the inside of, so the microwaves will start to echo there. Bill, you got so many plumes. That's not natural. That's not what your valleys would normally do. Look at this field of bombs right here. Boom, 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 boom. Can you see that all right? From none, everything curved that way, moving that way, and then this comes curved the opposite and goes over the top. Boom, boom. See it? How about this one here? The big S for skyria. You gotta analyze your skies. That is not a natural formation that would happen in a straight line storm or in a circulation storm, and it's in a huge scalar square of plasma that blew out all the condensates in the area. This is absolutely aiming everything right here. It is absolutely aiming it. Look at this scalar mesh here. And it was full condensated. Yeah, that's common. You're going to cop it. The dividing line is clearly here. See the shaved line here? Do you have a Navy ship parked here? Right where I'm pointing? Somebody go look and let me know later in comments. Because it's going to take all of us to do the homework. Because you see this big X in the center of the screen? If that ain't a field of chembrams, nothing ever is. Right, I'm out. Big love, people. I don't know what just happened with that. It's not good. So I'll post my funding link because I really do need some help, or I'm not gonna have a place to live. Or I'll sell the equipment would be the best thing for my life. I'm ready for my job to start. Yeah, I was very successful. It's just the job takes a month to start. But it's a contract job and none of this agency rip you off shit. I'm tired of it. So you got some big wins coming, and I want you guys to be safe. Okay? I want me to be safe, but sometimes I don't care anymore. Big wins, big chem, fair totals, and accurate forecasts we all deserve. And well, when your clouds are looking like a big dick, I think it's time for us to dick them back. That is all. Period.